party. Her autopsy will be done the next morning. The orderly arranges her body with the others, takes a photo of her face with his phone, and covers her again. Later, two friends, Ivan and Javi, go to the same hospital. They want to see the orderly. Ivan talks to Powell in the lobby. He asks if Poe has more photos to show them. Poe laughs and says they are going to a party. Ivan asks Powell to come with them, but Powell says he has to work until midnight, which is just an hour away. Then he tells Ivan to find a place for them to take drugs. Powell takes them to the dumpster out back and warns them not to touch the yellow one because it has human waste. Javi gets angry about being brought there because it stinks. Then he takes out a bottle and some cups, reluctantly accepting because he has more work to do. He says he doesn't want to go to the party because he has work in the morning. They suggest he find another job, but he says he enjoys working in the funeral home. The three friends raise a glass in memory of Anna Fritz, who recently passed away. Powell tells them to hurry up. Ivan asks about Anna's body and if Joel examined it, but when he says he did, Javi looks concerned. He tells them Anna's body will be kept in the hospital's funeral home until the following day. Powell takes them inside the hospital, and Javi thinks they're joking and won't actually go to the funeral home, but Ivan insists, and they take the elevator to the basement as they navigate through the corridor doors. Howe tells them to act lost if anyone finds them. He unlocks the door and leads them inside the funeral home. When they get there, Javi wants to go because he's scared they'll get caught and won't be able to talk their way out. The others convince him to stay, and Powell shows them the actress's body. Javi says he's scared because he's never seen a dead body before. They all step back when Poe pulls the sheet off, showing the body of an old lady. Powell teases them, and Ivan asks to see Anna Fritz. He uncovers Anna's face, but Ivan pulls the cover back down, and Powell says she doesn't look dead when Ivan touches her breasts. He tells Javi to do the same, saying she's cold. Ivan wants to do more drugs there, but Javi wants to leave and go to the party. Powell covers the body, and they both join Ivan for more drugs. Ivan claims that everyone wants to sleep with the actress who exposes her entire body. They have an unsettling conversation about what it would be like to sleep with a dead woman, and Powell tells them that he slept with a teenage girl's dead body. Ivan asks if he has slept with Fritz as well, and Javi jokes that he will most likely do so when they leave. Then Ivan says he wants to sleep with her, much to Javi's chagrin, and tells him they should leave because he's drunk. Howe appears to agree with Ivan's request and tells Javi, who wants to leave, to wait in the other room until the necrophiliac is finished, then pushes him there. Javi can't believe his friend would do something like that, but Howe can see Ivan getting ready to have fun with a dead body. Javi is shocked by what is happening and declares that both of them are sick. Howe doesn't agree, so when Ivan returns, he goes out to do the same. Javi is the only one who seems to see the problem with what they're doing, but Ivan always has some sick reason equally degrading to living women for why he should try this. He freaks out, and the two others rush into the funeral home as the woman who is lying immobile on the funeral slab looks at them. Javi is the first person to approach her and tell her to relax. He directs the others to bring her some water, but when they don't move, he grabs the water and hands it to her, while the others are terrified. Javi asks Poe what they should do next. Call a doctor or take her to the hospital. Then he turns to the woman and asks if she's cold and goes to get something to dress her with. Hen asks Powell if she saw him and if she knows what happened to her, but he knows she did. Javi returns and puts a medical gown on Anna when Ivan stops him and tells him that they need to think about everything. They need to hide. They hear someone approaching the funeral parlor. Javi begs them to stay and explain, but they continue to pull the cover over her face and crouch down. Another body is rolled into the funeral home by an orderly, and Anna tries to summon him but can barely make a sound. She's able to remove the cover, but he about it while Howe and Ivan are terrified of what would happen if anyone found out about what they did, claiming that because she's famous, it would be all over the news. From newspapers to televisions, Javi tries to persuade them that she is unaware of what they have done to her and that she did not see them, but Powell is concerned that she does. Ivan confirms it and says she'll talk, but Javi is unconcerned and wants to abscond with her. He tells them that everyone believes she's dead and suggests that they kill her, but Javi doesn't want to talk about it and doesn't care that Powell and Ivan are both involved in what happened. Javi wants out of the funeral home and begins dragging the body out when Ivan stops him and begs him not to because he doesn't want to go to jail. The only same friend asks if they understand what they're asking him to do. They're asking him to kill her, which frightens Anna. Javi tells Ivan to open the door as she begs him to let her out, then goes to open it himself when they realize it's locked and Powell has left the keys outside. Ivan and Javi fight, but Ivan nearly kills him before Powell can get him off. Powell checks on him and reports that he is breathing but losing a lot of blood. As Powell turns with a sheet for his head, Ivan apologizes to him. Ivan suggests that instead of calling someone, they leave him somewhere in the hospital where he will easily be found. They drag him to the other room while Javi is barely breathing. Ivan tells Poe to get the girl inside the room so they can call someone from the funeral home to unlock them, while Ivan instructs Javi to lie to the police when they question him. He tells him not to say anything about the girl and walks out to clean up with Powell. Javi opens his eyes and apologizes to Anna, saying he'll get help, but she tells him not to move because he'll die if he does. When the two others enter, she informs them that he is in bad shape and bleeding out, but Javi tells her to shut up. Powell rushes inside the funeral home to meet the other orderlies while Ivan keeps Anna quiet. Powell tells the co-worker that the orderly from the night shift locked him in. Powell manages to get the co-worker out of there, leaving Anna and Javi alone with Ivan. Ivan goes to check on Jav, but he is already dead. Ivan tries to revive him, and Anna sobs because he has died. Powell turns and Ivan informs him that Javi has died. Ivan tells the orderly that even if they had brought him upstairs, he would not have survived because he was in such bad shape. Powell claims that they will spend their entire lives in prison, but Ivan claims that they will also dispose of his body. Anna asks if they haven't done enough evil already and promises not to tell anyone. Ivan grabs Powell and tells him to ignore her because what they do next will define their lives for the rest of their lives, they argue, and Ivan tries to persuade him that they are both equally responsible and that if anything comes out, everyone will know what he did. Meanwhile, Anna climbs down from the slab and searches Javi's pockets for his phone. Ivan asks Powell how they'll get Javi's body out of the hospital in a trash can and says they'll use the emergency door when they enter. They see Anna on the phone and she tells them that she called her father and only told him that she had awoken. Ivan checks the phone, realizing she dialed a number, and she informs him that her father is seeking help and that they will come to get her. They believe it is over because she called from Javi's phone, so they take her upstairs. When Anna screams, Powell helps keep her quiet. An unknown number calls Javi's phone and Ivan answers it. He realizes that the call was never fully received and that she lied to them, so they return her to the funeral home. Ivan hits Anna and argues with her after she tells him that he is disgusting. Ivan orders Powell to restrain her while he goes to get a trash can. Powell grabs some gauze and starts cutting it up when Anna warns him that if he does what Ivan says, he'll end up in jail for sure. She says that he isn't a murderer and he can't let Ivan kill her, claiming that she is alive because of him. Anna begs him not to let her go, but Powell still ties her up. She informs him that Ivan murdered Javi in front of her while he was out of the room and that he had no intention of transporting him to the hospital. How suspects she's lying to him again and tapes her mouth shut. Meanwhile, Ivan goes to get the trash but gets stuck behind it because some nurses smoke there while Powell cleans up the other room. Anna pulls out the tape and tries to remove the restraints from her hands, but when she fails, she removes the ones from her legs. Anna collapses on the floor and crawls out of the funeral home, hiding just in time before Ivan returns. When he returns, he informs Powell that she has escaped and they split up to search for her. Anna manages to elude capture for a while, crawling through the holes, and eventually manages to get back on her feet, but she falls back down and crawls to the elevator. Ivan grabs the door and drags her back to the funeral home just as she thinks she is safe. Hal returns and asks if he killed Javi when he wasn't there, but Ivan just tells him that she wants to pit Powell against him. When they return inside, Ivan is ready to kill her and tells Powell that they will suffocate her with bed sheets. Hal and Ivan both don't want to do it, but in the end, Ivan decides that they should both kill her. They suffocate her while she pees all over herself. Hal assists Ivan in lifting her back onto the slab, and they then dispose of Javi's body. Ivan goes to get rid of the body, while Powell cleans the funeral home and Anna's body. Hal cleans Anna's body to remove any evidence. Meanwhile, Ivan leaves the hospital and leaves Javi on the side of the road. Hal puts the sheet back over Anna's body and places her with the others. He gathers his things and waits for Ivan. Powell hears Anna coughing. He goes to her and tells her to act like she's dead when he uncovers her. She opens her eyes and looks at him. When Ivan comes back, Poe covers Anna and tells Ivan to go because he's done everything. Ivan comes to Anna and asks if he finished his work. Then they leave. But before they reach the elevator, Ivan realizes he forgot his card. Powell tries to convince him not to go back to the funeral home, but Ivan doesn't listen when they return. They find Anna standing. Ivan attacks Powell and tries to kill him, but Anna appears and stabs Ivan many times. Powell tells her they were leaving and she shouldn't have done what she did. did, but Anna stabs him too. The movie ends. Thank you for watching.